Hello everyone. In this video we will look at the concept of finding position of an element in the periodic table. Now when we talk about position of an element, right, what we are essentially looking at is what is the period to which this element will belong to, and what is the group for which it will be belonging, and also what is the block, whether it is an element in the S block, or whether it is an element in the P block, or whether it is an element in the D block or F block. Okay, so now the classification of the element as per the blocks, right, is determined by the last electron, which we also call as a differentiating electron. So where this electron is getting into, if it is getting into the S subshell, means we will call it as an S block element. If it is getting into the P subshell, means it will be the P block. If it is getting into the D subshell, it will be the D block element. And if it is getting into the F subshell, it will be the F block element. Okay, so this is how we will categorize into the respective blocks. Okay, we already talked about the classification of elements in terms of their periods in a previous video. So in the video of modern periodic table, so when we talk about the significance of the period number, right, because so we have in the main table we have up to 7 periods, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So each of these elements that belong to particular period, the period number will be corresponding to what is the valence shell or the outermost orbit. So valence shell or the outermost orbit, right, that will be represented by the period number. So for example, if you have elements in the third period, means for them the valence orbit is going to be the third orbit. If you have elements in the seventh period, means for them the valence orbit is going to be seventh orbit, like that. Okay, so we'll try to comprehensively cover these things in this video. Now when we look at the long form of the periodic table, that is what we have over here. So in the main table, right, we are having the first two groups which will belong to the S block. Then so this is the grouping number, group number 3 to 12, that will be the D block, and group numbers 13 to 18, that will be the P block. Now the elements that will follow lanthanum, starting from cerium to lutetium, right, we will call them as the 4F series or lanthanoids or rarettes. The element that will follow the actinium, starting from thorium to lawrencium, and we have 14 elements here where the 5F subshell is being filled. So that will be the 5F series. Okay, so they will be also called as actinoids. So we have the lanthanoids, actinoids, we'll combinedly we'll call them as inner transition elements. Okay, so the D block is called as transition elements, and F block will be called as the inner transition elements. Okay, so we even discussed on why this naming inner transition, why the name has come in the previous video. Now the point is we are going to look at how we will identify the position of an element when the atomic number of the element is given. So that is what the information that we'll be having. If suddenly somebody is giving us that, okay, there is an element with atomic number 47, where this element will belong to, which period, which group, and which block. Because if you know which period and which group and which block, we will be able to comprehensively know what will be the broad physical and chemical properties of the element. Like say for example, if it is an S block, then we know it is a metal. Okay, and now we'll say it will be what, it will have relatively high density, it will be in the usually solid state at room temperature, and it will have affinity to lose electrons, it will have metallic nature and things like that. So broadly we will be able to understand what will be the characteristics of the element if we identify the position of the element. That is why there is importance for finding of the position of an element in the table. Okay, now to do this exercise, right, what we will start off with is we will start off with say some examples. Okay, let us say we will pick an element from the S block. So let us choose for example sodium. Sodium, what is the atomic number? Atomic number is what, 11. Okay, means the electronic arrangement will be what, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s1. So what is the valence orbit here? The valence orbit is the third orbit, which means what, this belongs to third period. Okay, and the last entering electron is getting into 3s subshell, so it will be what, it will be an S block element. Okay, and For the first group elements, we have taken the example of sodium, but even other first group elements, if you take the electronic arrangement, right, will be like this. It will be this 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, right? In fact, this is the electronic arrangement of the neon 3s1, like that we can write. So generally we can look at the electronic arrangement of the first group elements as inert gas configuration followed by ns1. That is how we will have the electronic arrangement of the first group elements. Okay, and the group number, right, will be given by the number of electrons in the ns level. So whatever is ns level, right, in that whatever is the number of electrons, that will be the group number. So here what is the number of electrons in the ns level? 1. So group number will be 1. So this will be a first group element. Now we can take another example. Let us say we are going with calcium. Calcium belongs to which group? It belongs to second group. Okay, so calcium, what is the atomic number? 20. Now we'll try to find out based on the atomic number, right? Atomic number is what? 20. So what will be the electronic arrangement? Electronic arrangement is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. After 3p we will fill 4s. So the valence orbit is fourth orbit. So it belongs to what? It belongs to fourth period. We can check it. So where is calcium? This is the first period, this is second period, third period, and fourth period. Okay, and the last entering electron is entering into 4s subshell, which means what? This will be an s block element. And for the second group elements, right, the electronic arrangement will be like in this case of calcium, it will be like what? It will be argon 4s2, means it will be inert gas ns2. So the group number, right, will be given by the number of electrons in the ns level, same as the rule that we are using for the first group. Okay, so here we can see ns level means what? 4s level of calcium has got how many electrons? 2 electrons. So group number will be 2. So we can see calcium belongs to second group. So for the s block element, so the moment we have the electronic configuration written, we will be able to straight away identify. The first thing that we will identify is what? In any example, not only in the case of the s block element, whether it is a p block or d block or even f block, right? First thing that we are going to identify is what? It will be the period number, because period number is straight away the valence orbit. Okay, then we will be able to know what is the group or what is the block to which it belongs to. So because the last entering electron is getting into the s subshell, means it will be the s block element. If the last entering electron is getting into the d subshell, means it will be d block element. If the last electron entering is getting into the p subshell, means it will be p block element. If the last entering electron is getting into the f subshell, means it will be f block element, like that. Okay, so for the s block elements, the general rule that we can say for identifying the group number is what? The number of electrons in the ns level. Because in one of the previous videos also we would have seen the general electronic configuration. The general electronic configuration of the s block elements, right? What is it? It will be inert gas followed by ns1 or 2, because ns1 will be for the first group elements, ns2 will be for the second group elements. So we have to count. So for the s block, right, I'll just write down the rules. So for the s block elements, what is it? We will have to count the electrons in the ns level. That will give us the group number. That is it. Now let us look at the d block, because first and second group are what? The s block. So d block will start from group 3 to group 12. If you pick up any element, right, let us say we will pick up scandium. Scandium, what is the atomic number? 21. So the electronic arrangement will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. After 3p we will fill 4s, 4s2, 3d1. Okay, now if you look at the outermost means not just the valence level, but we are looking at also the n-1 d level. So the outermost electronic arrangement of these d block elements will be generally in this manner. It will be what? ns 1 to 2, n-1 d 1 to 10. Exception is the palladium, because palladium, right, with an atomic number of 46, it will have an electronic arrangement of krypton 4d10. So it will not have any electrons in the 5s level. Okay, so generally it will be what, ns1 to 2, n minus 1, d1 to 10. Okay, we talked about the electronic arrangement of copper. So where after filling 4s only we should go and fill 3d, but exceptions will be there in the case of copper and chromium. We have talked about it in the structure of atom chapter. So this is the general arrangement. The outermost will be what, ns1 to 2, n minus 1, d1 to 10. So here for the d block elements, right, it will be what, the group number is given by the ns level electrons plus n minus 1 d level electrons. We have to add both of them. That will give us the group number. So look at this particular example, scandium, right? Ns means what? This is the 4s level, right? 2 electrons are there. N minus 1 d means 3d, 1 electron. Totally what is it? 2 plus 1, 3. So scandium, check where is it? It is in the group 3. Okay. Now scandium, right? What is the outermost orbit for scandium? 4th orbit, which means it belongs to 4th period. We can check it. Scandium belongs to where? It belongs to 4th period. Okay. And which block it belongs to? Because the last entering electron is getting into 3d level, right? It will be what? It will be a d block element. So this is how we will be able to find out the group number of the d block element. So what we have to do? We have to add the electrons in the ns level and n minus 1 d level. That will give us the group number for the d block elements. We can take another example also. Let us say we will go with copper. So copper, what is the arrangement? It is 1s2, 2s2, copper atomic number 29, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s1, 3d10. Exceptional, because completely filled d will give more stability. Okay, so here if you see, what is the outermost orbit? 4th orbit, means it belongs to which period? It belongs to 4th period. And where the last entering electron is getting into, it is coming into the d subshell, means what? It belongs to d block. And for the d block elements, right, how do you find the group number? We have to add ns electrons, means 1, plus n minus 1 d electrons, means 10. What is it? 11. You can check it. Scandium is what? This is the 3rd group, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. And the next group will be what? Zinc, cadmium, mercury will be the 12th group. Okay, so this is how we will find out the group number for the d block elements. And the thing about the f block elements, right, because we will see that because f block elements will be what? The set of 14 elements that will follow lanthanum will be the lanthanoids, starting from cerium to lutetium. Okay, the set of 14 elements that will follow actinium will be actinoids. See, since they are taken out of the long form of the table and kept aside separately below, we will give all the lanthanoids as well as actinoids, right? We will take them to be in the 3rd group. So group number, generally when we talk about the group number, right, it has a lot of significance when we look at the s block elements or the p block elements, and to some extent the d block elements also, because s block and p block, right, the similarity in terms of properties will be very prominent. The elements belonging to the same group will have very prominent similarities. When it comes to d block, it will reduce a little bit. F block means, instead of having a similarity in terms of the group, because here we don't look at it as a group, all the lanthanoids, right, will have almost similar characteristics. We will understand a little bit more about their behavior when we go to the d and f block chapter. In plus 2 we have a chapter, d and f block elements. There we will discuss why all the lanthanoids from cerium to lutetium, right, almost they'll have similar characteristics. Same is the story with the actinoids, thorium to lawrencium, right, they will have almost similar characteristics. Okay, so this is how we will be assigning the group number for the f block elements. So we will take all of them to be belonging to where? 3rd group, because the lanthanum belongs to which group? 3rd group. Actinium belongs to 3rd group. Since we are not giving a place for them in the main table, we will just take all of them to be in the 3rd group as such. Okay, now we are done with the s block elements d and f, because f all of them is what? 3rd group. Now let us come to the p block. So p block is what? It is from the 13th to 18th in the old numbering system, right? So we have the numbering given from 3a to 8a. That is the old numbering system. Okay, new numbering system is what? 13th to 18th. Old numbering system is what? 3a to 8a. Okay, now if you look at any element, like say for example we will pick up aluminum. Aluminum, number of electrons are what? 13. So what will be the electronic arrangement? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Okay, then 3s2, 3p1. So the outermost arrangement will be like what? ns2, np, 1 to 6. because for the 13th group elements it will be np1, 14th it will be np2, 15th it will be np3, 16th it will be np4, 17th it will be np5, 18th it will be what, np6. Okay, now if you look at, say for example, the story of aluminum, again first thing that we can tell is what, by looking at the arrangement, what is the outermost orbit here? It is the third orbit, right? So we can say this belongs to which period? Third period. And where is the last entering electron getting into? It is getting into the p subshell, means what, it belongs to p block. Okay, now for the p block elements, what is the outermost arrangement like? It will be like ns2, np1 to 6. So here if you add up the ns electrons and np electrons, in this case check it, it will be what, 1. So for the case of aluminum, right, ns electrons are what, 2, np electrons are 1, so it will be what, 2 plus 1, it will give 3. So in the old numbering system, we will just take the corresponding a. So 3 means it will be what, 3a. Here 4 comes means it will be what, 4a. 5 comes means 5a. But if you want to get the number as per the modern numbering system, right, we should add a 10. Okay, so ns plus np electrons, we will add it, means what it will give. In this case of aluminum, it is giving us 3. Okay, so in the old numbering system, it is going to be 3a. Similarly, if you pick, say for example, we will pick carbon. So carbon is what, 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. The outermost level is the second level, right? If you add ns electrons and np electrons, it is what, 2 plus 2, 4, means it will belong to 4a group. But if you want to have the modern number, means it will be what, 4 plus 10 we have to add, it will be what, 14. Why are we adding 10? Here we have this bridge. Okay, the D block. How many columns are here? There are 10 columns coming, right? Because we can fill 10 electrons into the D subshell. That is the capacity of the D subshell. So the group number for the P block elements, right? How do we give it? We'll add ns electrons and np electrons, and you want modern number, means it will be what, you have to add another plus 10. Old number means what, whatever the number you get, you have to just attach the a, because that is the old numbering mechanism, right? 3a, 4a, 5a, 6a, 7a, 8a, like that. Okay, new numbering means we have to add another 10, because there are these 10 columns coming in between. So 3 to 12, right, that is the D block. So this is how we are going to find the group number of the P block elements. So we have got, how do we find the group number of the S block, group number of the D block, all F block, same group. What is it? Third group. Then we have the group number of the P block elements. So if you follow these, right, then we will be able to answer any question on finding of the group number, or the position of the element in the periodic table. Okay, now again, the context is what, this will be useful for us in identifying the properties of the element. That is why we are doing this exercise. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start with couple of examples. Okay, so let us look at this particular question. Predict the period, group number and block of the following element. What is the element given to us? Element with atomic number 8. We know what is this element with atomic number 8 actually. See, some of the things, right, we would probably know because of the familiarity with these elements. What is the element with atomic number 8? It is oxygen. So oxygen belongs to which group? Oxygen belongs to 16th group. Oxygen belongs to which period? It is a second period element. Okay, and it belongs to which block? It is a non-metal, P block. So we know some information about the familiar elements. But the point is, if this kind of questions are coming in the examination, right, they would not give us things like atomic number 8 or something like that. They will give us like atomic number 74, atomic number 88, like that they will give us. Okay, so how do we proceed? First thing is, we have to write the electronic configuration. That is the first step for all these the position number finding problems, right? We have to begin with the electronic configuration. So let us see what is the electronic configuration with 8 electrons, 1s2, 2s2, then 2p4. So first thing we can conclude is what? Look at what is the outermost orbit. It is the second orbit, right? So means this belongs to second period. And where is the last entering electron getting into? It is getting into 2p subshell, means what? It will be an element belonging to the P block. Now remember, P block means what? The outermost will be ns2. Here what is it? np4, means what? 2s2, 2p4. Okay, so when we add the ns electrons and np electrons, what is it? 2 plus 4, that is 6. So in the old numbering means what? It will be an element belonging to 6a group, like that we say. In the new numbering means what is it going to be? We have to add a plus 10, right? So it will be what? 16th group. What is the group number? It belongs to what? 16th group. Like that we will be able to conclude about the group number. Okay, so this is how we will attack these kind of questions. Now let us look at one more example. What is it? Element, we have to find the same things. We have to find the period, group number and the block of the element. What is the element? They are saying element is B with atomic number 11. We know what is the element with atomic number. What is this? Sodium, right? But if you want to follow the same, the normal approach means what? So if you know that the element is sodium means we know that it belongs to what? It belongs to the first group. It is an element in the third period and it is an S block element. If we are identifying the element means we will know the information broadly. But let us try to find out the same thing by using the electronic configuration. So look at it. 11 electrons means how do we write? It will be what? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and then 3s1. So what is the outermost orbit? It is the third orbit, right? Means what? The element belongs to third period. That is the first thing we can conclude. Okay. Then where is the last entering electron getting into? It is getting into the 3s subshell. Means what? It will be an S block element. Okay. And if you look at the S block elements, the electronic arrangement will be what? It will be like inert gas followed by NS122. So for the first group it will be NS1, second group it will be NS2. Now the group number is given by what? The NS level electrons. Here 3s1. How many electrons are there? 1 electron. Means what is it? It is a first group element. Number of electrons in the NS level is what? 1. So it will be a first group element. Okay. So this is how we will be able to solve these kind of questions. Now we will go to one more example. So same thing, we have to predict the period number, group number and the block. What is the element here? Atomic number 28. Okay. So 28 means we will write the electronic configuration first. So what is it? 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. See after 3p, right? Look at this. What is the arrangement? 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 3d, 4s, 4p. Remember, first we will fill 1s, then we will fill 2s, then 2p, then 3s. Then we will fill 3p. After filling 4s, we will come to 3d. Okay. So we have filled 2 electrons into 4s, then we will start filling electrons into 3d. But you may think, why are we expressing it like this? Because sometimes, we can try and keep all the subshells of an orbit together. But the same arrangement can be also written. We can also write it like this: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, then 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d8. Like this also we can write. Nothing wrong in that. Okay. Sometimes we can try and keep all the subshells of an orbit together and we can make it like this. But when we are filling up of the electrons, we should follow the Aufbau principle, that n plus L rule, and then we should write the electronic configuration. Okay. Now let us look at it. What is the outermost orbit? It is the fourth orbit, isn't it? So means what? This element belongs to the fourth period. Where is the last entering electron coming into? Last entering electron is going into what? It is going into the 3d subshell. Means what? It will be a D block element. After filling 4s, we are going into 3d, right? Means what? The last entering electron is getting into 3d subshell. So that's why it is a D block element. Okay. Now for the D block elements, right, the outermost arrangement will be like what? NS 1 to 2, N minus 1 D, 1 to 10, exception being palladium. Okay, palladium, no electrons in the NS level. Okay, but yeah, what is the group number formula? The number of electrons in the NS level plus number of electrons in the N minus 1 D level. So NS level, how many electrons are there? 2. N minus 1 D level, 8 electrons are there. So means what? 2 plus 8, which is equal to 10. So that is the group number. So what is the group number here? It is the 10th group element. Okay, so this is how we can answer questions like this. But if we are doing it and suddenly we will get that the element belongs to F block. Okay, so if there is a question where we are seeing that the last entering electron is getting into the F subshell. In fact, it will get into what? The pre-penultimate. Or if you look at the F, right, it will get into N minus 2 F level. If N is the valence level, because remember the 4F. Okay, so when we are filling 4F, we would have already filled a 6s2. Okay, then only we will be filling the 4f. Means what? If the valence level is n, then we'll start filling electrons into n minus 2f subshell. Okay, so if we know that, okay, we are filling electrons into n minus 2f subshell, means for that we will not have any formula for the group number. Straight away, what is the conclusion we will draw? We will say that the group number is what? 3, because for the f block elements it is assigned that they all will take the same position as lanthanum if in the case of lanthanoids, actinium if it is in the case of the actinoids. Okay, now let us look at the last example. So we have an element with atomic number 54. Now here, right, I want you to check if this is striking anything for us. Atomic number 54, because if you want to identify the position of an element in the table, right, there is one more method. That is, if we know the atomic number of the inert gases. What are the inert gases? The elements sitting in the right extreme. What are these? Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon. Helium atomic number 2, neon atomic number 10, argon 18, krypton 36, xenon. What is the xenon atomic number? It is what? 54. That is what I was asking. Okay, xenon, what is it? 54. Then radon it is what? 86. So if you know the atomic number of these inert gases, based on that also we can back calculate and find the position of an element in the table. Like say for example, somebody is telling the element with atomic number 52, like that they are asking what is the position of the element in the table. So we know xenon is what? 54, right? Means we have to come one step this side, that will be 53, one more step, that will be what? 52. Means if the inert gas, what is the group? 18th group, right? One step means what? 17th. One more step means what? 16th. So we know that the element with atomic number 52, right, where does it belong to? It belongs to 16th group. Okay, and 13th to 18th are what? P block, right? Means what? So this element with atomic number 52, it belongs to, first of all, it belongs to what? 16th group. And it belongs to which block? It belongs to P block. Okay, not just that, we can even tell the period. So what is the period? Helium is in which period? It is in the first period. Okay, neon, it is in the second period, argon, third period, krypton, fourth period, xenon, fifth period. This element is also in the same period, right? Means what? This is an element in the fifth period. Okay, so like that we can answer questions by remembering the electronic configuration of the inert gas or the atomic numbers of the inert gas elements. Okay, but here, yeah, the question itself is given on what? Xenon. Okay, so what is the atomic number given to us? It is 54. So what is this element xenon? Means what? It belongs to 18th group. Look at the question. Question they are giving us is what? 54, right? Means what? This element is nothing but xenon. It belongs to what? 18th group. And which period? 5th period. And which block? P block. But the same question we can also answer by following our original method. What is the original method? By writing the electronic configuration. Okay, so look at it. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. Then we'll fill 4s. Then we'll come to 3d. So it will be what? 3d10, 4s2. Then 4p6. Then we'll fill 5s. Then we'll fill 4d. Then 5p. Okay, so totally if you look at it, right, so remember, while writing the electronic configuration we have to write as per the Aubu principle. But when we are trying to represent it, right, some textbooks what they will do is they will try to represent all the subshells together so that we'll have a little bit clarity. Okay, the same thing we can also write in another way. Like I said, what we can write: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, then 3s2, 3p6, then 4s2, 3d10, 4p6, then 5s2, then 4d10, then 5p6. The way we will fill it as per the Aubu principle, we can write like that also. So look at it. What is the valence orbit here? It is the fifth orbit, isn't it? So it is the fifth orbit. The last entering electron is getting into where? It is getting into the P subshell. Means it belongs to which block? P block. For P block, right, what is the outermost arrangement? It will be like what? ns2, np, 1, 2, 6. What is the thing? we have to add the ns electrons and np electrons. 2 plus 6 is what? 8. Means in the old numbering system, what is it? It is an element in the 8a group. In the new numbering system means what we have to do? To this 8 we have to add another 10. That becomes what? 18th group. Okay, so that is what we are able to see from our memorized numbers or values for the inert gas elements. Okay, so this is a approach that we have to take to find the position of an element in the periodic table. And again, what is the purpose of doing this exercise? The purpose is, if you look at broadly the physical and chemical properties of elements, more particularly in the case of S block and P block, right, they would be very much similar when it comes to the properties of element belonging to a group. Okay, so that's the reason why we are focusing on finding of the position of the element, because if you know that there is an element which falls in the group of, say for example, carbon, then we can broadly identify what will be the properties of the elements. If we say that there is an element which is in the group of magnesium, the second group, then we will know what will be the properties of the element, in the sense it will be metallic in nature, its oxides will be basic, okay, and no, its hydroxides will be strong alkalis. Like that we will be able to find out the broad characteristics of the elements. Okay, so this is the approach to find the position of an element in the periodic table. Okay, we will see in the next video.